I'm Howard.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we're the New State Nomads. We've been traveling in our 2019 Winnebago Navion 24D for just over a year and a half.
And today we're going to show you why it's the perfect home on wheels for us. We've been living full-time in our RV since August of 2018, and since hitting the road, we've racked up over 30,000 miles.
All across North America. In just 1 year alone, we were in Alaska, Nova Scotia, Florida, San Diego, and all parts in between.
And now we're exploring the beautiful country of Mexico.
So when we decided that we would hit the road, we must have looked at hundreds of different RVs and floor plans, but ultimately deciding that this was the best one for us, the 24D.
This was the first one that I walked into and could actually envision living full-time. We both work from the road, so it's perfect for that. And today we're not just going to show you the features and the floor plan of the 24D, but how we actually utilize the space.
So let's take a look, starting from the outside. Like many RVs, our 2019 Winnebago Navion 24D is actually built on a 2018 Mercedes Benz Sprinter chassis. Powering our home on wheels is a 3-liter, 6-cylinder, 188 horsepower turbo diesel engine with a 5-speed automatic tip-shift transmission and a 220 amp alternator. We're 25 feet 8 inches long and 11 feet 1 inches high. And when the slide is in, we're only 7 feet 6 inches wide. Our vehicle weight is 11,030 pounds. When you combine that with towing capacity, our maximum is 15,250 pounds. Our 2019 Navion features full body paint and Alcoa forged aluminum wheels. And to make it even easier to go inside, there is an electric quickie double step. There's over 39 cubic feet of exterior storage. So starting on the passenger side in the very front is this large storage bay, which is actually quite deep and has a carpet bottom. Inside of this one, we store a lot of the kind of patio gear, some of our exterior lighting, weights. There's even a tire pressure inflator. And then also inside of this bay is our 1,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Continuing down the passenger side is our 20,000 BTU forced air propane furnace, which we don't use very often, instead opting for electric heat. If we move a little bit further down, this is our Truma AquaGo Comfort Plus, which does feature a recirculating water pump. Now this is a pretty impressive system because it's able to flash heat using 60,000 BTUs of heating power, this is propane, in order to give us instant hot water. Continuing down below is our Cummins Onan 3,200 watt quiet diesel generator. Now it's not really that quiet, but it is really efficient. This consumes only 0.3 gallons of diesel from the same tank as the engine every hour. So that means we can go for a very long time just on this generator, but we prefer to use solar instead. And then all the way in the back here is this interesting little compartment. Now we use it for hardware. It's actually quite deep and quite tall. But what's interesting is it has this access hatch, which you can access from the bathroom and maybe even use this as like a laundry chute area. And then all the way at the bottom in the back is our first of our wet bays. So this has a plastic bottom and is completely contained within. We use this for water hoses, cleaning supplies, pretty much anything that might get wet or might leak. This protects all of that. Our Navion comes pre-installed with a 5,000 pound hitch. Now the capacity from a tongue weight perspective is only 500 pounds. We tow a Honda CR-V using our Blue Ox tow bar, and this has no problem at all supporting it. There's also a 7-pin lighting port, which we use this adapter in order to give us a 4-pin setup. Our Navion also comes with these electric stabilizers. Now these are not to level the coach, but instead just to keep it from rocking back and forth too much. We did end up adding these little feet that attach to the stabilizers, and there'll be a link below as far as where to find these. Voltage in campgrounds can vary wildly. This is a Hughes Autoformer, which was one of our very first purchases before we hit the road. What this box does is it takes the voltage from the campground or from your power source and then boosts it up to 10% in order to get it as close as possible to around a range of 110 to 125 volts. Continuing on the driver's side, in the very back is our wet bay and power area. On the right-hand side is our power area. It is pre-wired for an additional external solar panel, and then there's also our cable hookups. You plug into this outlet in order to receive power from the generator when you have it turned on. On the left side is our wet bay, which features all the standards such as pull handles for your gray tanks, your black tanks, as well as if you were emptying for winterization purposes, your fresh water supply. And then on the right here is your freshwater inlet, as well as a valve to change between normal and tank fill. And then if you go all the way up in the top here, you'll see there's a winterization valve. Now, an interesting feature that we just realized you can do is use these valves in order to pump fresh water in from 5-gallon containers. Very handy in Mexico. There's also an external shower, which we sometimes use to wash off the dogs. Our standard sewer outlet is located just below. Our 30-gallon freshwater tank is located underneath of our bed in the slide. This is the gravity fill for the tank, and this is the air outlet. On the driver's side are these two interconnected exterior storage bays. The first one here has a built-in sewer hose area. We don't use this because unfortunately it doesn't quite fit the Rhino sewer hose that we prefer, so instead we have this watertight bag here. As I said, this connects between the two, which gives you almost 7 feet of full-length storage for extra long things such as our carpet, poles, our leveling supplies. As you can see, still quite deep. Winnebago makes it easy. There's actually only 3 keys for this entire coach. This key opens all of the exterior storage as well as the freshwater inlet and the side door, while this opens the deadbolt on that door, and then this is the key just for the Mercedes. You open this hatch to fill the 13-gallon propane tank. The door of the diesel cap is protected by the Sprinter door, so you have to open the Sprinter door first before you can access your diesel cap. Winnebago recommends a cold tire pressure of only 61 psi. The shade is pretty nice underneath this fully electric awning. Now let's take a look on the inside.
Hi. Welcome to the interior of the Winnebago Navion. We're standing in the doorway and you can see there's over 7 feet tall of headspace, and we've had a lot of tall friends visit us and they can move around just fine and have no problem. It's nice and comfortable for them. So as soon as you come in, we have what we have turned into a shoe rack here. It was actually a magazine holder that we found at Home Goods. When you live in tiny spaces, you tend to get pretty creative with how you store things. So these are all of our shoes. That way they're off the floor and it's nice and clear when you walk in. In the cab area here, both of these swivel. Because we have the shoe rack, we don't turn that one around often. Our dogs usually like to sit here. If we have guests over, it just adds another seating area for them. Now up here we have a queen size overhead cab bed. We use it as storage. We have actually had friends who RV'd in Alaska with us and they slept up here. They said it was nice and comfortable. It's a thick memory foam mattress. We keep our extra table up here, yoga mat, suitcases, all of that kind of stuff for storage. There's also independent speakers in the loft area as well as individual reading lights, and you can close this off for privacy as well. So over here is the ladder to get into the loft. We use it to hang the dog leashes on so they're out of the way, but all you do is pop it off. And then this was kind of tricky. They showed us this at the dealership. It has to be at a straight angle and come straight down, and then you can climb up into bed. Lots of room up here. One of the things that we love the most about this cab area are these magnetic curtains that came stock on the 2019 Navion. They're built in on a frame here, and they actually snap into place with a magnet. And the amount of blackout that you get is great. I mean, it's daytime right now, the middle of the afternoon, and you can see how dark it is up here. It's kind of a hot day out today, so we have our max air vent set to auto. This is a fantastic feature that came stock on our model, and it really gives us that extra layer of comfort knowing that the pets are taken care of and that the coach is nice and ventilated. When the temperature reaches a certain threshold, the rainproof cover will pop open and it will begin venting on its own. So we don't have to worry about water getting in, and things stay nice and cool inside. Welcome to our home office. This is the dinette, and this was a really important area for us to have because we do work full-time from the road. We did not want to have to break down and set up our office every single day with our computers and all of that. So we work from here and we eat from a different area. There's plenty of space for both of us to work from. This does turn into a bed, although we've never actually used it as that. There's also lots of storage underneath and 2 extra seat belts for a total passenger capacity of 4 in the rig. There's both USB and AC power here, which is great. And then there are these LED lights, which are awesome for working as well. We've added some personal touches here to make our office feel a little bit more homey. We have some of our postcards from our favorite national parks that we visited over the past year and a half. And this is attached by command strips. In an RV, you can't nail anything into the wall, so command strips will become your best friend. Another really cool feature of our office area are these MCD blackout roll-up curtains. And there's a sunshade as well, so it helps keep it nice and cool. We can open the window and have a breeze, and it also is great for looking out and seeing the beautiful scenery wherever we're parked. Great motivation for working. Over on Howard's side of the desk, we added this whiteboard with command strips, and it has a little caddy for all of our pens and loose papers, and then some of our pictures from our travels. The Winnebago Navion has excellent storage space. Above the dinette here, we have these Euro-style cabinets. You just open them with a push of the button underneath, and you can see that this is nice and deep. We keep all kinds of stuff in here, books, extra equipment, papers, and it's super easy to access. So another great feature here in the Winnebago Navion. We love these little storage caddies. It's great because on moving days, we can put everything from the dinette into the storage caddy, and that way we can access all of our filming equipment when we're on the road, and it keeps it nice and organized so it's not flying around. And underneath our office is what we affectionately call Dogtown. When we first hit the road, Piper and Ella had a little bit of a hard time adjusting to life on the road, so we wanted a space that they could call their own. And they have lots of bedding in there, all of their toys, and they just hang out there. They love it. So this is their safe little space where they can call home. And of course, they're being super cute right now and hamming it up for the camera. And continuing the theme of lots of great storage in the Winnebago Navion, underneath our dinette seats are these 2 huge storage lockers. We use this one as an extra pantry. So we have canned goods in here. We have what we like to jokingly call our wine cellar. The other side is identical, and over there we have lots of papers, books, and games. At the base of the dinette is the RV propane alarm, which is another feature that gives you peace of mind. Another great selling point of the Navion for Howard and I was this huge kitchen. We both love to cook, and there's so much counter space. The Galley kitchen runs from almost the front to the back of the rig. We can both fit comfortably in here and cook. There's a huge sink for us to wash dishes. There's a retractable faucet head and a Dinette 2-burner propane cooktop. There's still more storage. I feel like you're gonna get sick of me saying that. Underneath the sink is this huge area that we have put a shelf in that we got at Walmart, and it houses our Instant Pot. We have a panini press, some dog treats, cleaning supplies here, all kinds of stuff. And one of the most awesome things that we found is this collapsible dish rack that fits perfectly inside one of our sinks here. So we don't have to worry about taking up counter space when we're doing the dishes and ready for them to dry. I love finding stuff like this. I get super excited when it's both functional and it fits into the space. Bonus points that it's collapsible. We have full extension kitchen drawers that keep all of our bowls and our pots and pans. They're nice and deep, almost as big, if not bigger, than some residential kitchens. We have 4 of these giant drawers. This drawer is a little bit more shallow, and it's the perfect size for all of our kitchen utensils and our silverware. This was a silverware rack that we actually had in our apartment in Miami, and we just got to keep it, and it fit in here perfectly with everything else. We have a bunch of these caddies throughout the RV. You'll see some more in the bathroom, and it's great just for collecting loose items and keeping them nice and secure as we're moving around.
Caitlin may like the coffee that I make every single morning. She says it tastes better. But I like the coffee maker itself because it's only 550 watts, which means we can run it off the inverter. We have a Coleman Mach 15,000 BTU featuring quick cool that is also ducted. We primarily use the heat pump on it when it is above 40 degrees outside. If it drops below that, then we have to consider using our forced air propane.
This is our 1500 watt convection oven and microwave. You can bake all kinds of things in here very easily. We've done pizzas, cookies, muffins. This is my own personal modification, if you're wondering. I'm one of those people who doesn't like to have any lights at night. In Winnebago, if you're listening, it would be great to turn off this light. It illuminates the whole room. So one of the first things I did was tape this paper up here. I could probably do a better job of making it a little prettier, but it's functional. We cook a lot, as I mentioned before, so it's a great addition. There's another Euro-style cabinet on this side of the rig above the sink, and this is where we keep all of our cups and our plates and bowls and our spice rack. We've added these to keep everything nice and secure in there when we're moving, so that when you open this door after you stop moving, things don't just fly out at you, because we did have that happen for quite a while before we installed these. Great use of space for us.
Behind this 32-inch television is an electronics area. Winnebago's done a really nice job of optimizing all the space. So back here, we have an HDMI input, which we use for our Chromecast, so we can watch TV and movies. Next to it is a cable input. Satellite receiver. We are pre-wired for satellite, although we don't have it. Our PepWave Surf on the Go router, which is specially configured just for our needs. And then our WeBoost 65, which is what keeps us all connected. The white cable here is the antenna for the WeBoost, and it runs all the way underneath the galley, all the way around the door, and then out the slide on the other side, because I'm afraid of punching holes in the roof. Our galley also contains a compressor, electric-only 12-volt fridge. Now this is important to mention because there is no propane ability on this refrigerator. We do have solar on the roof, which we'll talk about in a moment, but this consumes by itself 6.5 amps of power. Above the refrigerator are most of our controls. From the left, we have a LP on-off switch. There is also an emergency cutoff next to the fill that I showed you earlier. To the right of that is a tank heater setup. These are electric tank heaters which will drain your batteries very quickly, but it is important because in very cold weather, your tanks can freeze. This will help to alleviate that, but it is important to make sure that you're plugged into electric when you're running them. Our Oneplace is one place for everything. So depending on which button you've selected, you can take a look at your tank levels. Here we can see we have fresh water right now at 1/3. Our LP is full. Our gray tank is at 2/3, and our black tank is at 1/3. There's also a battery level monitor. We can see our chassis battery right now is at 12.1 volts, and our house batteries are at 12.4 because we're running our inverter right now, along with a number of accessories. This is one of 3 water pump switches. There's also one in the bathroom as well as outside in the wet bay. On the left is our diesel generator control. To turn it on, you press the red button, which will prep it, and then wait until it has cleared, and then you press and hold the start button to actually begin generating electricity from the generator. This is the slide controller. You push and hold it up in order for it to go out, and down in order for it to go in. It is important to remember to hold it all the way down until it is either completely in or out and it clicks. That's so that way it synchronizes the motors in the event that one side has come in or out slightly faster or slower than the other side. This is our inverter control and how we turn on and off our inverter. Remember, it is a 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter. We can run everything with the exception of the microwave and the air conditioner on our inverter. Finally, we have our ZAMP solar charge controller. We are pre-wired for, I believe, 550 watts of solar. Right now we have 200 watts on the roof, 2 100-watt single panels, and there is a third port on the roof ready to go, so we can add one more very easily. In the service bay outside, there is also an additional port for an external solar panel.
In the ceiling, we have these really nice LED halo lights, and there is a high setting and a low setting. So it makes it nice and warm colored in here, which I love. There's no fluorescent lighting, which is fantastic. Thank you, Winnebago. We also added a Philip Hue strip light that we can change colors to just give us a little bit more lighting inside the rig. Hi, are you taking a nap? So this is our couch area here that the dogs love to lounge on. We also added 2 ottomans that we got at IKEA, and this is great because, again, extra storage space. So we keep all of our jackets, coats, hats, gloves here, and it's just nice to prop your feet up. So I'm gonna have to ask you to move, Piper. Can you get down? Underneath the couch is where we keep all of our clothing. It's a super deep storage locker, And so all of our clothing that we use right now, day in and day out, is here. So we've got underwear, socks, shorts, shirts, everything that we can quickly grab that we need on a day-to-day basis. Now to the main attraction. I would say this was the #1 selling point for us with the 24D. It's a fantastic feature, the Murphy bed. It is so easy to make the bed, and you're not taking up extra space with the bed during the day when you're not using it. All we do, put these legs up and push a magic button over here. And ta-da, your bed is ready. That simple. Here in the bed are individual reading lights. If you push it once, it turns blue. Now, funny story for you, this is the way that we used it and thought it worked for almost a year of living in this rig, until one day I held the button a little bit too long and it turned white. Howard and I laughed so hard because we didn't know that it could turn white. We thought it was just blue and we're like, huh, that's kind of silly. We were the silly ones for not knowing how they worked correctly. Over on my side of the bed is a window with another MCD blackout curtain, and this window is double pane for both insulation and sound. And above the bed we have even more storage, so this is where we keep our clothing that we're not using often. So right now we're in hot weather, so we have some sweaters up there. We also have bathing suits and a bin to keep it all organized. And these are the same Euro style cabinets. We still have the original mattress that came with the coach. It's memory foam and it is actually very comfortable. All we did was add one thin little topper to it, and we love our bed. It is an RV queen size, so there's plenty of space for Howard and I, and we get a really good night's sleep here in the RV. On each side of the bed, there's a shelf so you can keep a glass of water or a book. We also have a Google Home Mini to control our fancy lighting or just ask it random questions for a source of entertainment. There are 2 outlets on each side of the bed along with USB plugs, so it's great for charging your phone. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, bless you. And when you're ready to get up, this is how easy it is to put the bed away for the day. All right, guys, come on. Time to get up. Time to get up. Come on. Come on. Piper. With a push of the button, the bed goes up. No more bed. Something that was really important for me when we were shopping for RVs was that we did not have a wet bath. I was not ready to deal with that. So our bathroom is actually a really good size and has a separate shower and toilet. We have a pocket door here that we added a mirror to. So come on in. As far as RV bathrooms go, we have a lot of space to keep things. Behind the mirror here, we have 2 shelves, again with these same little compartments that we have in the kitchen to hold everything in place when we're traveling. With command strips, we added some more shelving here that fits perfectly when we close the door. We've got 2 little shelves here, and then underneath the sink, again, lots more storage. So we keep all kinds of different things in here, some backup supplies. I have my hairdryer, curling iron, makeup, everything in here. In the bathroom is the Truma AquaGo Comfort Plus controller. It constantly is recirculating the water, and there are 3 pipes for each faucet, 2 hot and 1 cold. So as soon as we turn it on, we have hot water. There's no waiting for it to heat up. Also in the bathroom is a GFI outlet and one of 3 of the water pump switches, so that you don't have to run back and forth inside and outside to turn the water pump on or off. On this side of the bathroom, we have our toilet and our shower. For weight-saving purposes, we do have a plastic toilet instead of porcelain. We don't really notice a difference. It gets the job done just fine. Here's our nice and roomy shower. There's a skylight in the top, so if you're tall, it adds some extra space and extra headroom for you. There's also a self-cleaning squeegee shower door. It's a pocket shower door, so it retracts into itself. We have an Oxygenics 2-gallon per minute shower head with an intermittent switch, which helps us save a lot of water when we're showering. Command strips to the rescue again. We installed these in the shower to help us hang our towels. One of our favorite additions here in the shower is this shower caddy for shampoo and conditioner. It saves space so we don't have a lot of bottles around. We had this both in Miami and in Richmond in our apartment, and we hung it up with command strips. To save space when we're not showering, this is where we keep our laundry basket. And we do have a shower caddy because sometimes if there's an RV park or a campground that we're staying in that has a bathhouse, we'll shower there so that we're conserving our fresh water and our gray tank capacity. And the last thing here in the bathroom is our closet. So here we have all of our hanging clothes. This was the area that has the hatch to the outside that Howard showed you earlier. We have some extra shoes in here. It's a pretty deep closet space too.
To cut down on humidity in the coach, we have multiple of these air dryers by Davis Industries. They consume very little power, roughly equivalent to a small light bulb, but the effect is profound and it keeps the humidity level nice and low. As Caitlin mentioned, we don't eat at the Dinette, so the alternative for us is this table that sets up by the couch. It also doubles as an island when you're cooking in the galley. There's also another spot where you can put the table here, so you can spin these two captain's chairs around and kind of have like a little coffee area. We hope you've enjoyed this inside and outside look at our 2019 Winnebago Navion 24D, also known as our home.
The build quality of Winnebago's product is fantastic, and we've been nothing but happy with our purchase.
And the service has been excellent. I've called in on several occasions to Winnebago because remember, we had no prior RV experience, so we didn't exactly know what we were doing when we took off. And they have been very patient and walked us through any type of step or procedure we needed.
It's been the perfect home on wheels for our little family, and we're really looking forward to the next 30,000 miles.
We've covered a lot in this video, and we've learned a lot in the year and a half since we hit the road in our Winnebago Navion. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Our channel is just getting started, but we have so many adventures to share with you, including our super extended trip here in Mexico.
We've already learned a lot, and we can't wait to share that with you. So if you want to come along on our journey with us, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you get notifications when we post our weekly videos.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.